What if I told you that everything we thought we knew about the Golden State Warriors' future just changed overnight? What if one phone call, one internal meeting, one leak from inside the front office has shaken the very foundation of the dynasty? Because right now, the entire NBA world is buzzing with one explosive question: is Draymond Green really on the trade block? And if that's true, what does that mean for Steve Kerr? This is not just another rumor floating around social media. This feels different. This feels serious. And if you're a Warriors fan, you need to buckle up. For over a decade, Draymond Green has been the heartbeat of this franchise. Not the top scorer. Not the flashy highlight machine. But the engine. The voice. The emotional fire. The defensive anchor. The man who turned defense into an art form and made chaos look like strategy. 4 championships. Multiple all-defensive selections. A Defensive Player of the Year award. Countless clutch plays that don't show up in the box score. That's Draymond. But here's the uncomfortable truth: dynasties don't last forever. And sometimes, the hardest decisions are the ones involving the players who helped build everything. Inside sources around the league are whispering that the Warriors' front office has been quietly evaluating all options. And when they say all options, they mean everything. Veteran contracts, future assets, coaching direction, locker room chemistry. No one is completely untouchable. Yes, even Draymond Green. Now let's think about this logically for a second. The Warriors are in a strange place. They still have Stephen Curry playing at an elite level. Even in his mid-30s, he's bending defenses, dropping 30-point nights, and proving that greatness doesn't age the way normal players do. But the Western Conference? It's ruthless. Younger teams are rising. Bigger, faster, more athletic lineups are dominating. And Golden State has been stuck in that awkward middle zone, not rebuilding, but not clearly contending either. That's where things get complicated. Draymond signed his extension to stay with the team. It was supposed to be a statement of loyalty. A sign that the core would ride together until the end. But the NBA is a business. And sometimes loyalty collides with reality. There have been tensions before. We all remember the on-court incidents. The suspensions. The emotional outbursts. The fine lines between passion and controversy. Some believe that edge is exactly what makes him invaluable. Others quietly wonder if the volatility has started to outweigh the benefits. Imagine being in that front office meeting. You have ownership looking at the luxury tax bill. You have basketball operations looking at the age curve. You have analytics departments analyzing lineup efficiency. And you have one central question: can this current core win another championship as constructed? If the answer is no, then something has to change. And here's where the shock factor hits. Multiple insiders are suggesting that exploratory calls have happened. Not a fire sale. Not a guaranteed deal. But exploratory conversations. Feeling out value. Testing the waters. Seeing what a Draymond Green trade could realistically return. That alone is enough to send shockwaves across the league. Because let's be clear, Draymond is not just a player. He is identity. He is culture. He is the defensive system. He is the emotional tone setter. Trading him would not just be a roster move, it would be the official end of an era. But here's the twist that makes this even more dramatic. Steve Kerr's future may be directly tied to all of this. For years, Kerr has defended Draymond publicly and privately. He's praised his basketball IQ, called him one of the smartest defenders he's ever coached, backed him during controversies, trusted him in crunch time situations even when critics were loud. Their relationship is deeper than coach and player. It's philosophical. They see the game similarly. They believe in movement, spacing, communication, defensive rotations, the whole Warriors' DNA. So if the organization moves Draymond, what does that signal about Kerr? Some league executives believe that trading Draymond could mean the front office is ready to pivot stylistically. More youth. More athleticism. Less reliance on small ball lineups that dominated the mid-2010s. A shift away from the old formula. And if that shift happens, is Kerr still the right coach for that new direction? That's the question that's quietly growing louder. Kerr has had one of the most successful coaching runs in modern NBA history. Multiple championships. A revolutionary offensive system. The trust of superstars. But even legendary coaches face crossroads. The league evolves. Defensive schemes adapt. Teams copy your blueprint. And suddenly what once felt unstoppable starts looking predictable. If management believes the team needs a new identity, it's not crazy to wonder whether that identity requires a new voice on the sidelines. Now let's imagine the emotional ripple effect of a Draymond trade. Stephen Curry. What does he think? Curry and Draymond are basketball soulmates. One thrives offensively with movement and gravity. The other orchestrates from the top of the key, finding him with laser passes. Their synergy is built on years of chemistry. It's instinctive. It's unspoken. Remove Draymond, and Curry's game changes. The dribble handoffs. The defensive communication. The trust in rotations. All of it shifts. And if Curry feels blindsided or disconnected from the decision, that's when things get dangerous for a franchise. The Warriors have always prided themselves on internal alignment. Ownership, front office, coaching staff, and star players moving in the same direction. If that alignment fractures, the dominoes fall quickly. Let's talk about the financial angle too. Golden State has been deep in luxury tax territory for years. Ownership has paid record-breaking tax penalties to keep the core together. But there's a breaking point for every organization. If performance doesn't match payroll, accountants start influencing basketball decisions. That's reality. Draymond's contract, while valuable, is significant. Moving it could open flexibility. It could allow the team to chase younger pieces, draft capital, or even retool around Curry in a different way. But at what cost? You don't replace defensive IQ overnight. You don't replicate leadership in a spreadsheet. And you certainly don't manufacture championship DNA through analytics alone. That's why this situation is so explosive. It's not just about whether Draymond is worth his contract. It's about whether the Warriors believe their championship window with this specific formula is closed. And if they believe it is, then drastic moves become justifiable. Now let's zoom out to the broader NBA landscape. There are teams around the league that would absolutely value Draymond's skill set. Playoff contenders who need defensive toughness. Young teams who need veteran accountability. Organizations craving championship experience. Even with his age and past controversies, his basketball mind alone makes him an asset. But any trade partner would also be evaluating risk. Technical fouls. Suspensions. Public incidents. Emotional volatility. You're not just acquiring a defender. You're acquiring a personality. And that's where negotiation dynamics get fascinating. Would Golden State demand a win-now return? Or would they prioritize future flexibility? Draft picks? Expiring contracts? Young athletic wings? That choice alone would reveal their strategic direction. Win-now package means they still believe in Curry's immediate championship push. Future assets mean a semi-reset. Every scenario carries massive implications. Now back to Steve Kerr. Coaching in the NBA is brutally cyclical. You can go from untouchable to questioned in a single season. Kerr has faced criticism before lineup decisions, rotation stubbornness, trust in veterans over youth. Some fans argue that he's too loyal to the old core. Others believe his system still maximizes talent. If Draymond is moved, Kerr loses one of his most trusted on-court generals. That changes how he coaches. It forces adaptation. It challenges philosophy. And if adaptation doesn't immediately produce results, the spotlight intensifies. Ownership begins asking tougher questions. Media narratives grow sharper. Suddenly, a coach who once symbolized stability becomes part of the uncertainty. But here's another layer people aren't talking about enough. Trust shifts.